Do you guys want to...
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, please stand for the arrival of Her Worship, Deputy Mayor Paulette Thériault, et les intronises de l'Ordre de Moncton, our 2025 inductees to the Order of Moncton, Chantal Cadieux, David Hawkins, and George Rideout. Please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. C'est un grand plaisir de vous accueillir à l'Hôtel de Ville de Moncton dans les chambres de conseil pour cet événement si spécial. We're very pleased to see you here tonight to celebrate the induction of these three very special people from our community to the 2025 Order of Moncton. Je m'appelle Kevin Silliker. Je travaille avec la Ville depuis l'année 2007. Not quite as old as the Order of Moncton. I'm Kevin Silliker, General Manager of Corporate Services with the City of Moncton, and it's my honor to be your Master of Ceremonies for the evening. The very first Order of Moncton ceremony was held in 2010, and comme ça, c'est notre 16e année pour l'Ordre de Moncton. But a lot has changed since 2010. Now in 2025, AI is everywhere. In 2010, we weren't talking about AI, we were just trying to be A-OK. In 2010, Barack Obama was in his first term as president. Highfield Square was still a thing, and YouTube was a cute 5-year-old. Alors oui, beaucoup a changé dans nos vies et dans la ville depuis le premier Lord de Moncton en 2010. But what hasn't shifted is community members continue to step up and step forward to bring about change, innovation, and positive growth for our city. As you can see in the program, there's an impressive list of past Order of Moncton inductees, some of whom we're very, very pleased to see here with us this evening. Ce prix sert à reconnaître et à mettre en valeur les Monctoniennes et Monctoniennes choisis en raison de leur contribution importante au tissu social, culturel ou économique de Moncton, ainsi qu'en raison de leur réalisation remarquable pour notre ville. In a few moments, Deputy Mayor Thériault will tell you more about the work of the Selection Committee and the 2025 Order of Moncton recipients. At this time, we wanted to share a little more about what goes into the Order of Moncton. Nous sommes très fiers de cette soirée, du travail accompli par le comité de sélection, les partenaires, les bénévoles, et par l'équipe municipale qui ont contribué à la réussite de cet événement. We're so proud of this evening, the work of the selection committee, partners, volunteers, and the involvement of so many members of our city team who helped to deliver this event. Thank you for being with us. Our inductees were brought here tonight in BMWs supplied by BMW Moncton. Thank you for that sponsorship. Our ace chauffeurs were none other than our very own Moncton firefighters, fresh off their very own celebration of 150 proud years serving Moncton. In official firefighter dress regalia, our 2025 chauffeurs are Christopher Jackson, Marc-Andre Richard, and Will Gordon. I was joking with Will, that sounds like a NASCAR driver name. I hope that was a pleasant ride. When our Order of Moncton inductees arrived, they were met by a Kodiak RCMP officer from our community policing section. Constable Semame Kitana looked inspiring in the traditional RCMP red serge. Thank you for being with us. And our official photographer this evening is none other than the award-winning Daniel St. Louis. Vous êtes dans les chambres de conseil ce soir. C'est ici que le conseil se réunit chaque 2 semaines. Feels like a little bit more often than every 2 weeks. There's a lot of activity that happens in this room, lots of debate and discussion about our city. My family will often ask me, how was council? I often say it was lively. You're sitting in the seat of municipal government and democracy in Moncton. It is most fitting place, in our opinion, to hold these ceremonies and recognize people who make our city great. But let's be clear, the selection committee got it right. There is no debating tonight. Tonight, there are no questions. Each of you has earned your place here, and we're truly honored to celebrate your remarkable achievements with us. It's now my distinct privilege to ask the Deputy Mayor to come forward to say a few words. Mesdames et Messieurs, je vous présente son honneur, Her Worship, Deputy Mayor Paulette Thériault.
Merci beaucoup, Kevin. Donc, I may need some help with the microphone. Is it okay? Est-ce que vous pouvez m'entendre? Oui? Ça va bien. Donc, merci, Kevin. C'est très bien. Good evening, bonsoir. C'est un immense plaisir d'être ici ce soir pour cette célébration. J'aimerais de souligner la présence et de souhaiter la bienvenue aux députés provinciaux, M. Rob McKee, donc, qui est ici ce soir avec nous, Alexandre Cédric Doucette, qui doit être ici, donc mes collègues, les conseillers Kingston, Leblanc, Crossman, Bourgeois, Légère et Edgett, et les anciens récipiendaires de l'Ordre de Moncton et invités spéciaux. It gives me great pleasure to have you join us this evening to honor some of our most exemplary citizens and to celebrate their many accomplishments. Bienvenue à la cérémonie d'intronisation de l'Ordre de Moncton. À chaque année, le comité de sélection est impressionné par le nombre de citoyens et citoyennes qui réalisent des projets remarquables et qui donnent beaucoup pour le bien collectif. Our community is privileged to have such devoted citizens who strive to make our city a better place for all, and this year's honorees are no exceptions and are worthy additions to the order. J'aimerais ajouter que j'ai eu le privilège de connaître nos 3 récipiendaires de ce soir et j'atteste de leur contribution. I have the opportunity to work with all 3 of our recipients this evening, and I can confirm that they are all very deserving of this honor. Chantal, comme fondatrice de Dans son corps, et j'ajouterais vraiment une des fondatrices du Centre culturel Aberdeen. Tu as consacré plus de 45 ans à la promotion des arts et surtout de la danse contemporaine en Acadie. Tu as formé des générations de danseurs et contribué à la création d'événements et d'institutions culturelles majeures, affirmant ton rôle clé dans le rayonnement des arts au niveau national et international. Si ce n'était pas assez, puis je dois t'admettre que ça me touche beaucoup parce que tu viens d'ajouter la programmation pour les personnes âgées. Donc, merci et bravo. David, your belief that good communication can change the world has truly transformed Moncton. Your vision, passion, and leadership sparked the Moncton miracle and helped shape the city's economic resurgence. Beyond your professional achievements, your generosity and tireless support for charities have touched countless lives. I remember well when the Fry Festival was in its beginning and we were in desperate need of support. You and your beloved Lori were there for us. You've shown us what it means to lead with both skill and heart. Thank you for your extraordinary contributions. Your impact will be felt, we're sure of that, David, for generations to come. Merci. And we celebrate you tonight with gratitude. George. George. Your leadership during one of Moncton's most challenging times changed the course of our city's history. As the architect of the Moncton miracle, you restored confidence, revitalized our economy and laid the foundation for the success we enjoy today. I also remember well when you were a member of Parliament in Ottawa and your unwavering support for the arts. Thank you, George. Thank you for your vision, your service, and your commitment to this community. And after taking on the role and responsibilities of mayor of our city, this moment means even more for me. Thank you. Chantal, David et George, c'est un honneur de reconnaître chacun de vous et vos contributions uniques à notre communauté, avec la plus haute distinction que notre ville puisse discerner. It is truly a pleasure to honor you, and we hope that your contributions will inspire future generations to follow in your footsteps. Congratulations, félicitations. Finally, I have to thank a few people from the city. Donc, les membres du comité, les conseillers Marty Kingston, Charles Légère, Asha Jamalula, as well as past recipients of the Order of Moncton, Maurice Henry and Debbie McGuinness. Et notre greffière, évidemment, Shelley Morton. I would also like to thank all those who contribute to making this evening one to remember. Nicole Poirier, who's really the lead. She's everywhere in our city. We appreciate her so much. Sans oublier Bernadette, je pense qu'elle est ici ce soir, Marcia, Kyle et Justin qui sont aussi également. Donc, merci à vous tous et merci surtout à notre maître des cérémonies ce soir. Donc, Kevin, merci beaucoup. Merci.
Merci. Thank you, Your Worship. Chaque année, pour cet événement si spécial, nous invitons des musiciens et des musiciennes de la région à célébrer avec nous. Ce soir, nous sommes très fiers de vous présenter quelques musiciens formidables. Every year, we're very proud to welcome performers from our area to help celebrate this grand occasion. Tonight, please welcome from the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra, here to perform 3 movements from Sonata 3 by Albinoni, Emily Duncan on violin, Ben Lewis on violin, and Isaí Perez on cello. Thank you. Merci, Ben, Isaïe, and Emily. That was spectacular. Thank you. Just a little bit about the evening here and the ceremony. As we move through tonight's ceremony, here's how things will unfold. Alors, voici le programme de la cérémonie. First, I'll read the biography of each inductee to highlight their incredible contributions. I'll invite the nominee and the deputy mayor to step forward. Je vais lire la biographie de chaque intronisé, inviter le candidat et la maire adjointe à s'avancer. Nous procéderons à la remise des médailles, suivie d'une photo. At that point, we'll proceed with a presentation of the medallions, followed by a photo opportunity to capture this special moment. Each inductee will then have the opportunity to say a few words before we move on to the next honoree. Et maintenant, nous commençons la cérémonie. Our induction ceremony will now begin. Alors, Chantal Cadieux. Chantal Cadieux a consacré sa carrière à la promotion de la danse contemporaine comme expression vivante de l'identité en Acadie, en médaillant depuis plus de 45 années le rythme, l'esprit et l'expression de cette forme artistique dans Moncton et sa région. Fondatrice et directrice artistique de Danse en corps, elle est chargée d'initier des générations d'enfants à la danse en offrant aux artistes émergents l'occasion de mettre à l'épreuve leur talent et en donnant aux jeunes danseurs les compétences essentielles dont ils ont besoin pour poursuivre une carrière professionnelle. Fondée en 1979, Danse en corps a été la première compagnie de danse francophone du Nouveau-Brunswick. Lorsqu'elle a ouvert les portes de son studio, Chantal Cadieux a aussi accueilli des artistes de toute la région. À l'époque, il n'y avait guère de tradition dans la danse contemporaine en Acadie. Et Chantal Cadieux a tâché de rendre accessible cette forme d'art dans un environnement francophone. Plus tôt dans sa vie, Chantal Cadieux a dû quitter Moncton pour poursuivre ses propres études dans la danse. Elle était alors déterminée à donner aux jeunes danseurs l'occasion d'apprendre cet art-là où elle avait passé sa petite enfance. Plusieurs de ses diplômés se sont illustrés dans la scène nationale et internationale, ce qui témoigne de la qualité de son enseignement. Généreuse mentor, elle a créé des événements comme le Festival de danse en Atlantique et les chantiers de création, qui constituent des plateformes pour les nouveaux artistes comme pour les artistes émergents. Chantal Cadieux est elle-même une artiste prolifique qui a chorégraphié plus de 20 grandes productions. On l'a récompensée pour sa chorégraphie sans frontières à l'occasion des Jeux de la francophonie 2005 en Niger et on lui a remis en 2010 le prix de lieutenant-gouverneur pour l'excellence en danse. Sa passion pour la danse a permis de façonner le paysage culturel et artistique de Moncton et de mettre en lumière le talent local au pays et à l'étranger. Le soutien qu'elle apporte aux arts et à la culture d'aborde largement le cadre des activités de son studio. Elle est d'ailleurs membre fondatrice du Centre culturel Aberdeen, qui est aujourd'hui un carrefour culturel fourmillant dans le cœur de la ville. Chantal Cadieux, veuillez-vous avancer pour recevoir l'Ordre de Moncton.
Chers membres du conseil, je connais plusieurs, chers amis et chères familles, quelle belle et réelle surprise. C'est un honneur immense que vous me faites et je l'accepte avec timidité. Des femmes comme Claudette Bradshaw, Aldéa Landry, Corinne Galland, à laquelle j'ai beaucoup d'admiration, ont reçu cet honneur et c'est alors que je ressens donc beaucoup d'humilité. Je suis née à Moncton, j'ai épousé mon cher Ronald et nous y avons élevé nos 4 enfants. Aujourd'hui, je suis une mamie de 3 petits-enfants et je vois la vie en grand. Tous les dimanches soirs, nous nous réunissons autour d'un bon repas de famille et partageons nos joies, nos projets pour continuer de construire ensemble un monde plus juste et inclusif. Née en 1957, je considère que je suis de la génération bilingue de Moncton. Très fière de dire, à qui veut l'entendre, que j'ai eu la chance d'élever mes enfants, de travailler et de rêver en français. C'est un beau cadeau que j'ai reçu de la génération qui m'a précédée. Et j'ai choisi, consciemment de l'honorer en action. Obéir, c'est être libre, mais rendre visible l'invisible, c'est ma passion. Cette passion pour la danse qui m'anime depuis l'âge de 5 ans et qui m'habite encore, attends encore. En 1979, je fonde ma compagnie et mon école professionnelle de danse. Je suis particulièrement touchée que vous reconnaissiez ainsi la danse contemporaine. Pour moi, elle est bien plus qu'un art, c'est un vecteur d'expression puissant qui renouvelle sans cesse notre regard sur le corps humain et son bien-être. Alors, quand vous reconnaissez mon travail aujourd'hui, vous ne célébrez pas seulement une carrière, mais vous validez une vision. Vous honorez 46 ans à croire que la danse peut rythmer le cœur d'une ville, animer son économie artistique et exprimer son identité. Oui, 46 ans à danser, à faire danser et à contribuer, je l'espère, à faire vibrer la culture de notre belle ville de Moncton. Cette distinction, je la dédie à tous ceux qui ont dansé avec nous, qui avons cru en nous, et à ma famille, Montpellier. Dear council members, dear friends and dear family, what a wonderful and genuine surprise. This is a tremendous honor that have bestowed upon me. Je ne sais même pas le dire en anglais. Il m'a épaté. Bestowed upon me. And I accepted with grace. Women such as Claudette Bradshaw, Aldea Landry, Corinne Galland, and many others whom I really appreciate and admire have received this honor. So I am therefore filled with a sense of humility. I was born in Moncton, where I married my dear Ronald, and where we raised our 4 children. Today, I'm a grandmother of 3 grandchildren, and I see life in a big way. Every Sunday evening, we gather around a good family meal and share our joy and plans to contribute and continue to build a more just and inclusive world together. Born in 1957, I consider myself part of Moncton bilingual generation, and I'm very proud of it. Proud to tell to anyone who wants to listen to me that I am fortunate enough to raise my children, work, and dream in French in Moncton. It is a beautiful gift that I received from the generation that came before me, and I have consciously chosen to honor it through my actions. To obey is to be free. Stop at the stop. Look and pursue. But making the invisible visible, that's my passion. My passion is dance, and it has driven me since the age of 5. I have experience now. In 1979, I founded the dance company because I wanted to be a dancer. But nobody wanted to let me dance, except at the parties. At the parties, the girl would dance and the guys would sit around. Say, not much fun. So, if I wanted to dance, I had to do some action. So, I created Danse Encore, not just for me, but not to dance alone. And I have a friend right here, Kim Murphy. Hello, Kim. She was my first designer for the costume of the company. We're in 1980. It's a true story. When you recognize my work today, you are not just celebrating a career, you are validating a vision. You are honoring and believing that dance can set the rhythm of a city's heart, stimulate artistic economy, and express its identity. Yes, 46 years of dancing, making other dance, and contributing, I hope, to the cultural vibrant city of Moncton. I dedicate this award, merci, to all of those who have danced with me and who believe in dance, and my family and my pillar, Ronald.
Merci, Chantal. Félicitations. Next up, David Hawkins. David Hawkins is known for saying that the quality of communication can change the world. This isn't just a catchy slogan. David Hawkins demonstrated it throughout his life. As a communications professional, he has been responsible for campaigns that have had a widespread and lasting positive impact, earning him praise at the regional, national, and international levels. He is the mastermind behind the strategy commissioned by Moncton City Council that led to the city's economic recovery, what became known as the Moncton Miracle. A philanthropist, he has leveraged his communication skills to raise hundreds of millions of dollars for charities, especially those dedicated to helping the most vulnerable in our society. He has served as campaign chair, committee member, donor, and fundraising campaign advisor for a multitude of charities and nonprofit organizations, including the Women's Center, the Beausejour Family Crisis and Resource Center, the Love for Local Food Banks campaign, the Hospice of Southeast New Brunswick, the Ukrainian Refugee Campaign, the Fry Festival, the Atlantic Cancer Research Institute, and Nature Conservancy of Canada. He was one of the earliest and most ardent supporters of the Sistema New Brunswick program, which provides musical training to children who might not otherwise have the opportunity. His recent ongoing support has led him to help develop a $12 million fundraising campaign to ensure that even more children have access to this training. Sistema New Brunswick, now the largest youth music program in Canada, is a social, cultural, and economic driver for our city. David Hawkins has also personally donated millions of dollars to local charities. His impact is amplified by his ability to mobilize people and resources to support important causes. Charities know that if he is willing to participate, he will not be alone. He is described as being completely motivated by a desire to serve, which elegantly sums up the enormous efforts he devotes to improving our region and province. David Hawkins, please come forward to receive your Order of Moncton.
Bien, merci tout le monde pour votre générosité. Well, I have many emotions standing here, seeing so many people that I've known for years and have worked with for years in a variety of ways. And in my mind, my first real solid connection with Greater Moncton, with Moncton at the time, was with George Rideout. So I'm going to say a few words about George. This was going back to 1983, and Moncton was extremely challenged at that time. And I have to say this, I was invited to help out in a way with the communications. And instantly, when we get into a small committee meeting, there was lots of others, George had a remarkable vision for how to turn around Moncton, both reputationally and from a point of view of the economy. the social setting, the cultural setting. It was a remarkable vision in light of what was in front of us all. And what was in front of us all was bad. It was really bad. It was very negative. And it got worse. A couple of years later, CN decided they were moving on. And it was dramatically worse. And George continued to have the vision and the commitment and the energy. And in particular, he had the remarkable skills of pulling together a team that was fully dedicated to his vision. And I want to mention, just like Chantal mentioned, a special person here this evening. There was a special person involved in that committee, and it's Paul Daig, who's right over here. Paul, would you stand up, please? There we go. Great. Paul headed, he was George's right arm in economic development. Paul headed what was in effect the Economic Commission at the time, along with Peter Baliveau, who many of you would know. They were fundamentally civil servants in the city of Moncton, but they did a remarkable, remarkable job along with others, in bringing about George's vision. It was, and I was just another person there in support services doing my part and hopefully doing it well. It was a great honor, George, and I want to thank you. I know we're here to thank you, but I want to personally thank you. And I must say that Zoe was always there and always very supportive. She really did some special work for the entire team over and over and over again. So in terms of recognizing the contributions I may have made, I wanted to say very clearly that I always worked as simply one member of a team. I was not the team, and if there hadn't been a team, we couldn't have got anything done. And whether that was fundraising or other kinds of volunteer work, it was always a team effort. And I want to be very, very clear, and I think this is what Chantal says. I accept this award on the part of all the team members. Many of them are here this evening. Jim Lockyer was a significant team member and has been for almost 43 years, Jim. 42 years, that's quite a run. We've done a lot of things together, but Jim would know about the team efforts. Would you say, Jim, it was always, we had an idea, or somebody had an idea, we get started on it, like, how do we assemble a team so that we can actually execute? And if we hadn't been able to do that, it just wouldn't have happened. There were hundreds of people who participated. And why you're honoring me, I'm not so sure, to be honest with you, because there are plenty of others who could be standing here. So if you're looking for some nominations next year, I'd be happy to, as I have in the past. So I just wanted to do that, recognize those folks. In 1996, the Chamber of Commerce awarded our small company as the Business of the Year. It was the top award for their annual gathering. And I had to say a few words at that gathering as well. There was a few hundred people in the room over at the Delta. And I had, as usual, I had no prepared presentation, whatever. And I just thought I would speak from the heart as best I could. But when I got up to speak, I said something that I had not expected to say, had not planned to say, I hadn't thought about too much before. And it was that in my career, I've worked for hundreds of clients on thousands of projects, even at that time, and it's 29 years ago. But I was never more proud of any work than the work I was able to do as a professional, as a volunteer, as a donor, as a support services than I had done in Moncton. And here I am after 58 years in this business, after 51 years of living in New Brunswick, and I still feel exactly the same way. There is nothing that I have ever done, and I've worked for some pretty impressive clients. There's nothing that I have ever done that, and you know, where's Bill Whalen? There he is. Bill, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. I always looked at Bill when he was doing this or that to support the city, and I thought, Bill must feel the same way, that he's proudest of this work. He just put his heart and soul into it, and you couldn't get it done any other way. You had to show up, and you had to be totally committed. So I want to thank the council members, the members of the selection committee, members of the RCMP, the member of the RCMP, the city fire department, and all of the people who work for the city. There's so many projects that would never have got done without, you know, the city staff. Just wouldn't have got done, simple as that. And they don't get recognized too often, if ever. But the simple reality is with every day, and it wasn't always wasn't always smooth sailing through the city system, but we got it done. Whatever we were working on, we got it done. And that's a remarkable achievement, and it's really one of the reasons that, and just one that Moncton has done so well. Something just came to mind, and I'll tell you, it goes back to, I think, something Paulette said. The first campaign that we did with George and Paul Daig and Peter Beliveau. So this is fall of 1963. And we ran a national campaign in the middle of this disastrous economic circumstance. And the slogan for that campaign was, Moncton, the city to watch. And so we had this, you know, this positivity, this optimism, this vision that George had planted with each of us, that we were prepared to make a bold statement like that in the middle of all the troubles we were having at the time. And the very first ad we ran, I have to tell you about this, it's a little anecdote. It showed the MB, call it tower. Is that the right word for it? MBL tower. And it showed a jet plane taking off behind the tower. It was obviously a jet. You could tell by the shape of the engines and what have you. And that was the illustration for the city to watch, okay? And I actually got 6 phone calls from Montreal and Toronto from the media, and they basically asked me a question. The essence of it was, are you sure that you can use that illustration? I said, well, what do you mean? They said, well, it shows a jet. I said, yeah, we got 2 or 3 flights a day here. And they said, are you sure about that? I said, yes, I'm really sure about that. And they said, my gosh, we would have thought you'd have prop planes only and maybe landing on a gravel strip. So we sure turned that around, didn't we? But we all did it, and we did it together. Another very, very proud moment was, I think Brian Murphy was the mayor at the time, and brought about a wonderful circumstance when Moncton was designated as an officially bilingual city. It's been a big part of it. Okay, merci tout le monde.
Congratulations. Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Hawkins. Next up, George Rideout. The last stop. George Rideout has lived a life of service to his community. His list of accomplishments on their own is impressive. 9 years as a Moncton City Councillor, 5 years as mayor, and 9 years as a member of Parliament. But it is the context in which he served that makes his time in office truly stand out. When Rideout became mayor of Moncton in 1983, he inherited a city that was dilapidated, discouraged, and in economic decline. A key feature of downtown Moncton was the boarded-up storefronts. Eaton's had already closed, and rumors of the C and shops closing were growing louder. Moncton's reputation was in tatters nationally. Dès les premiers instants de son mandat, George Rideout a clairement fait savoir que le développement économique sera sa priorité. He negotiated a multi-million-dollar investment from the federal and provincial governments to revitalize Main Street, recruited Moncton Industrial Development to lead the charge on economic development, and hired a communications firm to rehabilitate the city's image and position it as a great place to do business. Midway through his term, when the CN's shop closure was announced, Rideout was well on his way to putting the pieces in place for what would become known as the Moncton Miracle, the city's rebound from the devastating loss of an employer that had largely defined its hub city status. Architecte du mérite de Moncton, George Rideout a orchestré un revirement économique et un changement de mentalité qui a transformé la ville et qui perdure aujourd'hui. As the architect of the Moncton Miracle, George Rideout orchestrated an economic turnaround and change in attitude that transformed the city. The city's continued economic success can be directly traced to his leadership through one of the community's most challenging periods, and the city, the Southeast region, and the province as a whole owe very much to your vision. Rideout was appointed a judge of the Court of Queen's Bench, now the Court of King's Bench, in 1998, and continued to serve the community in that capacity until his retirement. Mr. Rideout, please come forward to receive the Order of Moncton.
Come on over there.
Oh, okay.
Just pop. Okay.
Don't lose that.
I will cherish that. Kevin, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
He's going to take care of it.
Do a
Come on
photo.
over for- Just for a
Okay.
big photo. You're good right there. Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's nice. Good.
Okay. My speech will only take about 4 hours. But I'll give you a break halfway through. I must say that I was surprised to get an award such as this, because I was in the old hotel. This is my best friend. And I'm really honored. My father was there, and then he was the member of parliament, and then my mother was the member of parliament. And I said, geez, I can't find any work. Anyway, I had some help with this speech because I'm very shy. And I'll go at it and see what I can do. I don't want to see it. Okay. This pocket? Oh. These don't work, but Your Worship, Mayor, members of council, distinguished guests, fellow citizens, friends, and family, I'm deeply honored to accept the Order of Moncton to be recognized by my own community. The place where one's roots run deepest is amongst the greatest honor a person can receive. Thank you for this privilege. As anyone who has served this city knows, nothing meaningful is ever accomplished alone. I share this honor with countless others, with the citizens who believed in Moncton's potential, and on the bench with family and friends. This recognition belongs to as much to them as it does to me. When I look back on Moncton's journey, the challenge of economic uncertainty, certainly to the thriving, confident community we see today, I feel immense pride, but not in what one individual has done, but what we have achieved together. And there was a time when the future of the city of Moncton was uncertain. And then I heard a rumor that somebody had some money, and so I went after them. And we got enough. And Paul was my guy who was going to lead the situation. And what happened was that we were going to dig up every bit of Main Street just before Christmas. And I thought, that was good. And then, so I worked with Paul for a bit and said, maybe we should hold this off and try after. And we took a look, and then we got a call from federal government. If this doesn't start in another 3 weeks, you're out of luck. So I said, I'm going to be a one-time mayor, and we'll see how it goes. And I got invited to this, so. There was a time when people of Moncton, I think I used to, I was thrilled when I became mayor because the Pope, the Queen, and Kenny Rogers came to see me. It was a big event, of which I didn't have anything to do with. But the spirit of Moncton is what has always set this community apart. Throughout my career, whether as a city councillor or as mayor or as a member of parliament or a judge, I try to carry one simple principle, that public service is not about personal achievement. It's about stewardship. It's about leaving our city and our country and our institutions a little stronger than we found them. In truth, Moncton has given me more than I could ever give in return. The city shaped my values, my work ethics, and my belief that the greatest strength of any community lies in its people. So tonight I accept this honor and do so as a celebration for me, and you guys are stuck. May we always believe in this city's bountiful potential. May we continue to lift one another up and have the spirit of service to each other and to our community. I think, yeah.
Check.
Yeah. I was worried about it, but then. Yeah, well, I used to be a dancer, too. Another miracle, yes. Anyway, I just want to thank you for this. And I have my kids downstairs, or upstairs, or wherever we are. See, I was in the old building. And I was so pleased when I got that because they explained to me that So the NB tower was put specifically for me. And so when it was going to fall over, it was going to hit me right in my office. So anyway, Moncton was an interesting time when we were there. My goodness. And so I'm pleased to accept this award. I had been working on getting a medal for putting out, crazy things like wars and things like that. But Trump beat me. Oh, thanks. That probably blows the thing that I needed.
That was a true mic drop moment, if I've ever seen it. Ladies and gentlemen, félicitations aux récipiendaires de l'Ordre de Moncton 2025. Please join me in congratulating our recipients, our honorees. Now, before we hear one more time from Deputy Mayor Terrio, who will conclude our ceremony, we are pleased to offer another song from our wonderful musical guests. Voici encore une fois un interlude musical from the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra playing Albinoni Suite No. 1. Once again, Emily Duncan, Ben Lewis, Isaí Pera Perez. Take it away.
Thank you.
Ben, Emily, Izzy, thank you again. That was spectacular. Wow. We do want to extend a few special thank yous and to acknowledge some members of the city team who did so much to deliver this special ceremony this evening. Assisting us with the event tonight are the city clerk, Shelley Morton, Marcia King, and Bernadette LeBlanc, also from the city clerk's office, as well as Dusty Tower and Kyle McGrath from our IT department helping out on audiovisual. As well, we couldn't have delivered this event without the overall city's communications department under the leadership of Director Aloma Jardine. A special thank you to Judy Wheaton, who designed the medals, certificates, as well as our programs. Thank you to all the city employees who helped make this event a special evening. This event has always been a City of Moncton labor of love and gratitude, and we can feel the love in the room tonight. Thank you. There's also a very special person who holds it all together for us in planning this event. Il faut absolument reconnaître Nicole Poirier, l'assistante au maire. Merci, Nicole. We will soon conclude the induction ceremony, which will be followed by a public reception in the lobby with Trio Carte Blanche featuring Gilles Bellevaux, Pierre Barra, and Robert Godet. And before I ask Deputy Mayor Thériault to come forward with her closing remarks, I would let you know that we will be taking an official photograph here in the council chambers of our 2025 inductees at the conclusion of the ceremony. So we would invite you to exit the chambers following Deputy Mayor Thériault's remarks and join the reception. Our new inductees will join you shortly. We'll also let you know that parking has been arranged at both City Hall lot and the parking garage, so the gates should be open, so parking is free, you can exit freely. Après les mots de clôture de Maire Adjoint Thériault, on vous invite de participer à la réception publique dans le hall d'entrée pendant qu'on prend la photo officielle. Aussi, pour vous dire, le stationnement est gratuit à l'hôtel de ville et aussi au garage sur la rue Church. Je vous présente encore une fois Maire Adjoint Thériault qui va prendre la parole. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude the ceremony, please welcome again Deputy Mayor Thériault.
Merci beaucoup, Kevin. I will be very brief. So on behalf of my colleagues on council, thank you everyone for your presence this evening. Really, we look forward to our 2026 Order of Moncton, and I encourage everyone who's here this evening to please start to think about the next year's nominations. And thank you, David, for mentioning that you would help us with this, so hopefully everyone will. Donc, je vous encourage fortement de réfléchir sur les choix possibles pour 2026. Donc, sur ce, Chantal, David and George, vous êtes représentatifs du meilleur de Moncton. Donc, merci à vous tous, and please join us in the lobby for the reception. Merci.